Founders Live. You know, some of you might be new to this. Some of you might be involved in Founders Live for quite a while. So this may be reviewed to you, but hopefully this is information. And, you know, the goal is to answer the question of like, okay, what is Founders Live, and how can I gain value from it? How can I provide value to it? What are ways that I what are available product wise and experiences to you and all that. So this is a casual conversation. If you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and say, hey, Nick, question. Don't hesitate to do that, because this is a group conversation, and we do want, if you have comment or question, always let me know. But this will be nice to walk through here. But, you know, we talk about this a lot, but really Founders Live is really about inspiration. It's about education, and it's about entertainment. And, you know, through those three things, you will see that those incorporate all the experiences and aspects of Founders Live. We believe that inspiration is the root of entrepreneurship. If you can see others doing great things in your community and in your country and in your world, and you get inspiration to go do the same thing, how great is that? And so that's really what Founders Live is about. The education is what we provide in terms of information, mentorship, obviously the talks and the things that we provide online is really great in terms of helping you become a better entrepreneur. And then obviously entertainment. We believe that these things should and must include entertaining experiences, or they're just dull and everyone loses interest. So those three things are the root of Founders Live. As you look at, you know, we actually have, you could view us as like an online experience thing in terms of a global social network and platform. And then you can also see that we have these live events. The two feed each other. But when you look at Founders Live, you want to look at like, there's a global community forming, but then there's also these events and pitch events that happen, which I'll touch on. You know, we really like to say like the modern homepage, the homepage of the modern entrepreneur. So when you go online, we are on, you know, founderslive.com, which I'll touch on. But, you know, when you go there, that community has vital connections. There's videos, there's information, there's articles. We're going to do a little walkthrough real quick that I'll show you some things of how to utilize Founders Live. But just know that, I mean, there is just it's a depth. There's a depth there of information and people now and connections and all that. So you can find that at founderslive.com. You all are on there already, so this is not necessarily something of new, but you know, that is our online community. The thing to understand is we have basically a few options to join, and this is one of the things I really wanted to touch on, is that we still clearly offer a free experience to Founders Live in the community. And what we say there is it's what we call limited access to the Founders Live Global Network. What does that mean? That means that you have a door to go into for free into the global community of Founders Live. You can connect with people, you're on there, you can meet people and all that. But what we've done, and you know, for a number of reasons, but obviously, you know, if Founders Live is going to be around in years, then we obviously have to have a sound and scalable business model. And we also view providing value to people, you know, that includes providing a premium experience with much more resources. So when you look at the Founders Live Professional, that is the monthly paid subscription, starting at $10 a month. And we're going to, over time, build out more of that going forward. But you get a lot more resources, much more education. There's deeper connections, and then, you know, you have access to Founders Live Pro, which we'll walk through in a second, but that has like the mentors, that has like the pitching resources. Really, if you're looking to raise money going forward, you know, as a startup founder, you're looking to access the ability to connect with investors or with our partners like Net Capital, you know, raising money efficiently through crowdfunding. These are the things that are now available with the paid experience. That doesn't mean that the free experience is not great, and doesn't mean that people can join and just, you know, interact with Founders Live unpaid, but we are now starting to layer on much more resources and opportunities within the premium experience. And so
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before you move forward, I just want to make sure that I am like understanding and framing this to have
Mm-hmm.
the right conversations with people, because I plan on being like a top recruiter like Allison.
Yeah.
So like I think what it kind of sounds like you're saying is that this is kind of, the paid experience is kind of like a paid incubator or like accelerator experience. Is that a good way of framing, or do you prefer different verbiage?
So good question. And the thought process is in the right direction. I personally, as the CEO and founder, would not use the words accelerator, because I think when you say that to people, they do have connotations of like, oh, so you mean that there's a thing we can be a part of, that we get money and then they invest in us and then we pitch to get more investment from investors, like a demo day thing. And I'm just simply using the exact terms in our industry of quote accelerator is usually in that format. And Founders Live is not that. I think the best way to think about right now, Founders Live is a global community of entrepreneurs, and it's what you would call a freemium model, so people can join for free. But if you join in the premium experience as a member, there's many more resources, many more opportunities and education for someone that wants to go and build their company and go above and beyond, right? And so what we're trying to do here, and just to explain it even further, so for you, so thank you that you want to really be an ambassador and share this. We find that Founders Live is attractive to many different types of individuals, and we want to provide an experience that is at no cost for people that want to get around this thing and this excitement and inspiration, that may not choose to want to go forward and really dive in and build their company. And that's fine, because they can open the door free and they can be around the community. But the individuals that probably are on this call, I know a number of people on this call that are like, no, we have business goals, we have metrics, we are wanting to go and be successful as a business and grow as an entrepreneur. Those are the things that we are putting in place now, and that's through the premium membership that are there. So you can kind of think about it as like at least two, if not many more doors that will be a part of this. And I can stop right here. And Allison, I know that Allison, Luis, Nicholas, who is a part of our team, feel free to add some thoughts here from your direction as we continue to put this together.
Yeah, I was actually just about to jump in there too, Nick. I like to say, Candace, and everybody else involved who's interested in participating and joining at this level, this professional membership, whether you consider yourself, an entrepreneur and a founder, or whether you are a service provider and someone who wants access to, being in the same community, we're listening, and we'd like to hear what it means for you to be part of a community like this. So there are a couple vehicles, and if you can't find the vehicles, check out my LinkedIn and ping me on LinkedIn. We're definitely desirous of hearing the things that would make this community more valuable for you. We're trying to grow it, and we're trying to be responsive to members who are interested in joining.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nick. So I want to say a couple things. Of course, yeah, we are trying to figure out so we are open to host all kinds of events. Some things I'm going to be hosting in November is like a Toastmasters club, but it's going to be really geared towards helping founders pitch. And there'll be 1 week where it'll be just founders that are going to be pitching, and then the following week it'll be mentors that are giving speeches on, that are relevant to startups. Some other things we're going to be doing is some pitch deck workshops. But anything that you guys want to see happen on this platform, let me know. I'd be more than happy to, I'm kind of organizing, trying to figure out what people want and what. So for next 2 months, I'm really going to be just trying a bunch of different things and seeing what's most popular and gathering feedback. So we, like Nicholas said, me and Nicholas are great people to reach out to if you were open to ideas. And yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I would add too is I think a differentiator for this platform is that, sure, we have LinkedIn and we have other social networks, but this is a place for people that actually want to get stuff done, that need to escape the noise from all those other things and focus on what they care about most. and get a high level value from this community and the resources provided here, that's going to continue to grow. But it's always something where founders can find support, both from tools and from knowledge and shared wisdom, but also from each other, from finding other people like them and making connections. And also too, you know, I think you've experiencing these events, there's something special about them, something different. And I think that feeling carries over into everything, into other places. And so I think you get kind of like that different special thing here as well. So at least I hope so. That's the aim. So yeah, just a couple other facets to bring up.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Luis, and all of you. Like that was great. What I would like to do, just to be able to walk through a little bit of Founders Live, and so first of all, this is our community. We desire that people feel comfortable to be active, engage, post, chat, and go through this. Like I said, the homepage of the entrepreneur, and that could be really valuable to you. And some things that I just want to point out around the platform that might not be so obvious. Look, Founders Live. So the data here goes back to 2016, so 4+ years in terms of this platform. So if you think about that, there is a vast amount of information, knowledge through here, and it's there for you. And I would say one of the great things is understand that there's a search bar. When you look at the search bar, and let's say you search funding for any reason, what pops up is all these different things, right? I mean, oh geez, okay, I want funding. Well, let me take a look at, and what is this? Oh, okay, this is Clearbank. So, this is one of our partners, and it's like, if you qualify clearly, but like they provide growth capital to online brands. And, that's a partnership that we crafted last year. When you look at, there's a number of different posts. These are all posts. Oh, video, interesting. Okay, let's look at this. And, this was a few years ago, but Brian Brewer, critical steps to the angel funding process. And you can literally click and watch Brian Brewer give advice, thoughts and advice. That's someone from Seattle that we had worked with. And then, actually, it's interesting that this is a little structured differently, because they actually did there's a redesign on the platform, but these are like, there was actually a chat session that went afterwards to answer some questions, but you've got that great video there. The point is, this is a good example of, by searching pretty much any topic within Founders Live, you are going to find information that you can read through, engage with, and check out. So, and by the way, I know you might be messaging me in chat, but I'm going to disregard that because I can't do 10 things at once. So I'm sorry if you're messaging me, but we need, please speak up if you have a question, because I want to run through this stuff. There are, you can look at topics. So topics are some areas that we've identified. Basically, that means that that posts are tagged. You can tag a post in, essentially, this is a categorization of things. So you can go through and knowledge and daily learning, and there's posts that are associated with that. So I would encourage you to spend some time working through Founders Live and just learning. This is the education. This is the connection. When you go to the members, this is where you can find other members. There's Allison, right? There's Rita. Rita's been around a while. Did a great podcast interview with her a while ago. But if you can check people out, you can say hello. So I would encourage you to message people, on Founders Live. Hey, Rita, how's it going? Can I help you? Or what are you working on? Or whatever, right? So, these are people's profiles, and you can chat with people. In addition to that, there is, when you see chat down here, this is actually this is a general chat room of Founders Live that, that is more of an open chat room on that. So feel free to so the difference between this chat room, this is kind of where people post chat and kind of interact. And then the feed is more like the general feed where everything falls into, and more larger questions or larger posts fall into this general chat. Yes, Allison, I hear you. We will talk about Ambassador Program. I want you to bring that up when I'm finished here with this. But you also have channels, and one thing that we're going to touch on is there are channels in here that you can either interact with. You can start your own channel in Founders Live, actually, and that's something where it's more just kind of it's an area where people, if they quickly click a button and join, now they're congregating and aggregating around unique ideas or that. So one thing that I want to mention, yeah, go ahead.
If I can jump real quick too, and that now that Founders Live is virtual and you know, people are watching from all over the world, not necessarily just in their local city, it's accessible to so many more cities and people, and so that's where those channels can really be helpful. Because if you're tuning in from someplace where there isn't, you know, a hosted Founders Live, you can still connect with other people in your immediate area, which at some point, well, you know, beyond virtual, even have real life benefit.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks, Luis. Yeah.
In terms of these channels, it looks like a lot of it is around location. Are any of these channels set up in terms of topics? Or
they are and can and will be, if that makes sense. So like I said, if you wanted to create a channel around a topic, you can do that, and it basically it falls in here. It's kind of like if you open up a new Slack channel that's open to people, and then people can dive in here. What we're going to do going forward is, see, like Founders Live Bogota, we're going to start more emphasizing the cities that we have, so Seattle, San Francisco, that these channels should be more active and attached to our cities that have the events. And so we're going to work on that. But yes, I mean, you look at like Innovators Morning Show, that's what Joya opened up a while ago. But yes, we have most of these that are oriented around cities. Recently we've done a cleansing of this, and we're kind of relaunching the channels to be more focused. And if you would want to start a channel around a topic, then feel free to do that, because then that would attract more people that would want to. And the thing is, the channels, once someone subscribes to them, they actually fall right into, if someone makes a post in a channel, it will fall right into your feed. Like the post from that channel, if you're subscribed to it, will actually show up in your general feed as well, which is great. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Thank you.
And so one thing I want to touch on with Founders Live Pro, we talked about a little bit, but there is now going to be a channel associated with that. So as you upgrade to the premium experience and membership, there will be more exclusive content, experiences. A lot of the things like this that we're doing, like the chat in the group session, they will actually be available if you're in the that's why it's, upgrade to premium. So upgrade to professional. By choosing that membership, there will be experiences, things that will really only be in that area of membership versus the general free experience. So that's why we have now what we call a Founders Live Insider. That is the channel that is going to be associated with the premium membership. And just wanted to let you know about that. So a lot of great things coming down the line and all that. Any other questions? Because I do want to move on to the Founders Live Pro, the new product that we released in that direction. But is there any other questions right now on, the last thing actually I'll touch on, you might have a question on this, but see this box right here? What's on your mind? Please share, please feel free to post. We encourage that. We want you to do that. You can say, you can ask, you can post what's on your mind. You can share a link, so let's say you've got like a link. If you wanted to share a link to a blog post or an article, you just post it right there. It pre-populates with something. If you want to ask a question, so notice how this icon right here, basically you can create a question. You can actually create a multiple choice poll. You can have different types of formats of questions, but you can then ask a question. Hey, what is everyone using for accounting software? Blah, 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 blah. You know, but this is great. You know, you can post some, you know, please, you know, we ask you to be active and post, or, like someone's post. You can comment saying, you know, this is really cool. A quick comment, or ask a question in the comments. So, you know, these are things that we really, really encourage you to participate in, and would love to have that. So any other questions here?
I think that this might be a little bit too of a generic question, or maybe more specific question for me. Allison sent me over an invitation a couple, whatever, it was a month or two ago. This is really my first opportunity to connect inside of this group. So I haven't really connected in. So this is a good opportunity for me to start to get familiar. I believe I signed up for the pro. Is that something new, or, because Allison, when you sent that over, was that for the pro? Because I know I paid. So I know I'm not on the free version, but I don't know if it's the pro version or not. So
you paid the special. You came in on the intro, paid in full, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, it was like in August. So yeah, you got in on a great deal.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, so you have access to everything.
Okay, gotcha. I just thanks. I wanted to clarify. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So apologize for everyone else that was a very
great
specific question to me.
I like that, because that's a perfect segue. So, you know, hey everyone, we're really excited about Founders Live Pro, because it's now, as Founders Live goes forward, we're now starting to really pull in data and information, and actually all the stuff that goes on around Founders Live is now being pulled into and being kind of crunched a little bit more and provided back to you to make, again, you a better entrepreneur. So, you know, when you think about Founders Live and the community that we just walked through, that's the social platform. That's the social community. That's where, like, you connect with people and, you know, do these sort of things and be able to, like, see a feed of stuff going on. And again, that's open to as the free level, or with the paid experience, there's going to be above and beyond unique things and experiences available to you. But only with the paid premium version of Founders Live, you now have access to Founders Live Pro. You'll find it at pro.founderslive.com. Really, really cool that now one of the main things that you can do is we are now indexing, you know, all of our companies that not only have pitched, but you might have seen, we posted today, if you would like to be listed on here, I'll just show you, right here. If you want to be listed on Founders Live, you actually click here, and there's a link that you can fill out. And basically now, the whole point here, everyone, is like, this is where people will start to be able to go through, and especially like investors, that we're going to create products and experiences for investors to come in and actually, you know, search certain companies. That, you know, there's a search bar up here that you can either just search the company name, or the, you know, the industry, or, you know, investors specifically are going to want to come in here and say, like, okay, what's happening in the fintech industry? I want to see who's pitching through Founders Live and from where. But for you as a founder in a startup, you want to be listed here, because, geez, it opens more opportunities. And then also anyone that is in the professional or higher membership, you have access to this. And so you can search through here and find, is there companies I want to partner with? Is there companies that I want to work for? Is there companies that, you know, I can help as a professional? How great is that? So, you know, one thing I want to show you is, let's see, Lamazi. So check this out. This is the direction we're going. So Lamazi Tribe, really, really cool. Destiny actually pitched and won at our last Founders Live Prime Time event, which was Europe and Africa. And this is obviously the direction we're going, is you can search and, oh, there's her pitch video. And you can simply click and watch and see, like, here's her pitch video. And it's so cool, right? We don't need to watch the whole thing right now, but so that's the direction we're going. We uniquely clipped this up and put it in her profile, but a lot of the other, if a company has pitched recently at Founders Live, the event video actually falls in right here versus the unique pitch video. You'll see this is only 1:56. But this is what we're doing. So we're really excited that over time now, you list your company here. And then also after you've pitched, we got your pitch video right there. Investors can come in, they're going to watch this. Maybe they're like, hey, cool, this seems really interesting. Lamazi Tribe, by the way, they are creating really great new clothing products, sustainable clothing products through recycled plastic they find in their community, and they're pulling out the right materials to then make actually like comfortable active wear clothing. And they're out of Nairobi, Kenya, and it's so cool. So you can go to the website, you can learn more about them. Here's their pitch deck. Here again, how much are they raising? How can I help them? Here's their social media. And it's all, this is all there, right? So this is stuff that is available to you as a pro member. And, if you're thinking about pitching, definitely if you look at Watch, this is all the history of our events that are actually the new format of virtual. So you can go in here and be like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna check out what Founders Live Boston, I'm gonna watch the video. I want to like see the companies. I want to see how people are pitching. All that is great stuff. So you have Watch, which is like all the back events they're actually the events back from starting in March, April of this year in the new format that we're doing live stream wise. If you go to events, you can see the upcoming events. Buenos Aires has their event today. We got prime time next week. You can learn about the event. You can click here and get tickets real quick. So this is where you want to see like what's latest coming up. We actually need to update this because there's more in the calendar. We just haven't updated it yet. There's mentors. So if you want to access we're going to start growing this out. So anyone that wants to list themselves as a mentor and advisor, they can fill out the form real quick and list themselves. There's John. I think he's on the call. And Allison, there you are. There's Ron. So, that's great to see y'all. But, you can, click there. There's Allison, and, she's got, where she's located, the areas of focus, languages, obviously, because depending on different areas of the world. Click here, LinkedIn. Actually, click here to book on a calendar. You can instantly book time with that individual. So really excited. This is all great. And so if you want to list yourself as a mentor, there's a quick application, a quick form that you fill out, and we'll place. If you want to work with other individuals and help out founders, we feel free to list yourself there, and then you can open up your calendar. Basically, you attach whatever calendar you're using, you attach that and isolate the times, and people just go in there and book. It's really, really great. Let's see, marketplace. This is a big one. So, and this is like part of the product that we've just now opened up and we're going to build out. But again, as you being a paid pro member of Founders Live, having access to now our marketplace that will this is going to explode over the next year to 2 years. And Nicholas, I want you to talk about this in a second, but you can now see our partners that within the marketplace that are listing through Founders Live and opening up, whatever offer they are providing, storytelling and pitch coaching for startup executives. And you can go right here, learn more. I want to talk to Melissa at Story Fruition. Can she help me with my pitch? So that's within communications and pitch coaching. And so this is all going to build out. We just have barely listed we're just building out now all of our partners and their offers and whatnot. Screaming Box, they're another great partner. They do development and design work for projects. The marketplace is exciting. So Nicholas, I know you have thoughts on this. Feel free to share those.
Yeah, you bet. One of the things that's really cool about this community as it continues to grow is that it offers opportunities not just for entrepreneurs to get access to these sorts of services, but also people who are providing these services get access to the folks who are, who are entrepreneurs and members of this community. So it's a great win-win type of a situation here. One of the things that we want to offer is a vision of people who are service providers joining the community to be involved in the ecosystem of startups and provide, for example, discounts based on being members of Founders Live and being part of the community. Whereas if you're a founder and you're looking for, as Nick was just kind of going through a few of those, and this is just the beginning of it, right? Pitch coaching. If you're looking for information on financing, if you're looking for information on HR, it's growing and expanding this community of service providers who are there in this community to provide their what they have and their expertise to the community as well. And it'll be things like discounts, it'll be things like referral programs, but it'll also be brown bags and opportunities to sit in on discussions and talks about what their expertise is. So there's a lot out there coming up here. And a lot, as I alluded to earlier, a lot of it's going to be based on the input that we get from our founders and what it is that they're looking for out of this relationship too.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
have
thank
a
you.
quick question.
Yeah.
For people that want to be a partner, is there a fee associated with becoming a partner, or do you just have to be a Pro Founders Live subscriber?
The short answer is we're working on what that alignment is. So that's the short answer. But at this moment in time, feel free to just say, hey, if you want to be listed in that marketplace, join Founders Live and go talk with them. And over time, we're looking for the right alignment that clearly is fair, that makes sense, and also this is obviously something of a business model as well, and we want to make sure that it is fair for any partner, that it makes sense, but also that if we open this, if this was, I guess part of the balance is if there's no pricing model to it, it could get a bit out of hand too quickly. So by managing the growth of the marketplace in a way that has a bit of a structure and maybe a paywall to that, we want to have quality companies, quality partners, and actually have it expand and grow in a good, natural way versus if we just open this up, it might get a little squirrely too quickly. And then the quality is low, and then you as a member are having a bad experience. So we have to balance those. I hope that makes sense. But right now, just say, hey, they have a partner concept in a marketplace. You should go in there, check it out. And, I think the path there is if someone joins Founders Live for free, and then they're like, hey, I'm curious about this marketplace thing, they'll be able to inquire. And I would say within the next let's call it by the end of the year, this will be much more in place and make more sense. So yeah, does anyone have any other questions on that? Okay. So what I want to do is real quickly, and then there's the last thing I want to touch on, but we have our podcast listed in here, which is great. And all of our podcast episodes are in here, and you can, click on one, and you can actually listen to the podcast right in this platform and application. It's like a live web page and all that. So really, really cool that you have the entire podcast library there. A lot of great conversations. There's Allison again. Just so great. I love those. I would say that is what I wanted to touch on. So again, Founders Live Pro at pro.founderslive.com. You'll need to, there's a little process of basically signing in. If, we've basically matching the email that you registered on Founders Live must match the sign in of Founders Live Pro, if that makes sense. So if you have some problems signing in, always message me and let me know, message one of our teammates, and we'll get you there. But it is for going forward. We've kind of opened it up right now, but going forward, it's really going to be, it is for premium paid members. That's what you get, is the Founders Live Pro platform with that. So hopefully that makes sense.
Nick, real quick,
yeah.
is the Access to Pro going to be available in the regular Founders Live? Because right now it's two separate things, right?
Yeah. So short answer is no, it won't be available within founderslive.com because they are two separate products. They are two separate platforms. And more importantly, because we have access, because there's like a freemium model to joining Founders Live, there needs to be a bit of a separate kind of login. And this is more around database stuff. But, you know, to give someone access to Founders Live Pro, there is a different database to that, and it's also a different product platform. And so we're going to keep them separate for a few reasons.
You might want to just add a link, though.
Oh, well, there is. Well, there was here. I will work on actually having more of a link, but so we have the upgrade link. That'll just take you to the pricing plans and whatnot. Yeah, there you go. But we will work on how to have more of a kind of bridge, if you will. Dan, and we've talked a number of times, but there is like,
yeah,
I'm not going to get into it, but basically it did say the link to Founders Live Pro is here, but I realized that actually a lot of people would the better link is to actually upgrade first versus directly going to Founders Live Pro, because that would be a little more confusing.
Right.
But we're tightening this up. But that was a good suggestion.
Cool.
Okay. We have a few more minutes, and I know that if people want to chat, I definitely want to keep a little bit of time for that. But the last thing I want to touch on was really just our events, right? Our fun events that we have around the world. These are live stream events. They incorporate 5 early stage companies, 99-second pitches. There's 4 minutes of Q&A. There is a voting experience on that, and we have a crowd that the crowd votes on the winner, and there's a winner that comes out of it. We have reached about 60 cities around the world. A lot of those are dormant, if you will, especially because of COVID over the last, the pandemic over the last 6 months. But we are now through a process of really igniting those that have been a little bit more dormant. But you'll see, like, definitely on numerous continents, and really excited about that. One thing is, if you don't have a Founders Live in your city, essentially an event that is originating out of your city, please reach out. And that expand.founderslive.com, that actual URL is a place where people can actually submit, like, hey, I'm interested. Here's the city that we want to launch. Maybe they want to be the city leader, but this would just actually notify us that someone is like, hey, we had someone from Taipei do this a couple weeks ago, and hey, interested in launching in Taipei. Cool. So always, we are expanding. Inquire about what that would, what's involved in the process. But really, really excited and open to conversation on the area of the world that you would like to start this in. Lastly, Founders Live Primetime, and so Primetime. I can tell you that is of anything that I'm most excited about with Founders Live, it's probably this, and it's so cool. And only because of pandemic and virtual experience has the ability for us to release this whole new elevated experience. And the best way to think about it is, I think Primetime we have the possibility to come to the world in almost this new Shark Tank type of experience. And the cool thing about it is, from the grassroots up, we like, from literally every corner of the world, grassroots up, we're surfacing talented people and teams building great companies from everywhere in the world. Shark Tank is just, executives are making decisions on who should pitch, which I think is kind of unfortunate. But with our primetime experiences, we're including, performance and entertainment with a competition involved, and also networking and connection. So if you think about, this global competition, it is for the winners that come out of our cities. So now you can see, like, I can't tell you how many times over the last 6 years I've had people say, well, that's cool, like Founders Live's great, but what do the winners get? Do they go on to are you doing like a global competition? And we couldn't necessarily, until we discovered the way to do it digitally and virtually. And so now the winners from all of our events fall into a basically a bucket that they qualify for the ability to go on to an elevated series of events that we've identified. It's right now 4 regions of the world. So there's Founders Live Primetime North America. So that's all the cities from our North America area flow into, and we would pull 5 winners from those and have a competition around that. There's Latin America. There is, so that's basically Mexico South. Anything Mexico and South is now in Latin America. Europe and Africa, and we just had that event last week, but we've structured them in the same region for the world right now. And then lastly, Asia and Southeast Asia. And so those are now the 4 regions that we're excited that as our cities go on and there's just more events and more winners, they bubble up. And then we have larger events that what we call prime time is because they're really focused in the evening time of those regions, highlighting various winners from those countries, which has been so cool to see this all come together. And really, this is just about highlighting and elevating promising but undiscovered global talent. And it's cool because it comes from starting at the city level event. Those are maybe a little more casual, but they're great and fun. But then the winners go on into a more serious, but also really fun event. And we're giving them much more exposure for those people. So this fall, we've basically created this like 5 event series that results in 5 winners that will basically compete at the end of the year in December, which I'm going to touch on real quick. But we've had 1 North America event, we've had 1 Latin America event, we had Europe last week, Europe and Africa. Coming up, we have another North America event, which is exciting. That's next week, next Wednesday. Check that out, free to attend. It starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then we have 1 more Latin America event. We'll got 5 winners that will result in this final on December 2nd. And we're calling it Founders Live Fest, and we're doing a bigger experience that will have the final competition for those 5, but also a much larger experience. So it's gonna be 4 hours long. There'll be some great opening up with partner talks. Really excited for that. Let's see. Net Capital is gonna be talking. Amazon AWS is going to talk about what's available and how they're supporting early stage entrepreneurship. We'll have Galvanize talk around community and really like co-working post COVID. And then lastly, we'll have Women in Cloud talking about their initiatives and entrepreneurial diversity and inclusion. Really, really excited about that. 3rd hour will be the competition finals. We'll definitely crown a winner. And the 4th hour, really hangout, networking, and happy hour to connect with people. And these are going to be people all around the world. So if you'd like to help us bring people to that final event, please let me know. We want to work around, like, how do we engage our community to just point people to that final global celebration and festival on the 2nd of December. That's going to be free. We're not going to charge anything for this at this point. So with that, I just want to open up with questions in chat. I know that we don't have too much time, but I know that that was a lot. And also hopefully it answered a lot of questions of what's available here and what we're doing with this global thing called Founders Live. So I'm going to just pause right there. Anyone?
This is Mark. I love this. This is really cool. Again, this is completely new. I know I met Allison through Avantage a couple months ago, and she's like, I think you'll really enjoy this community, and what I've seen thus far, I'm really impressed. So thank you for sharing this, and I love the elevate through the elevating promising and undiscovered global talent.
Yeah.
So my question is more along the lines of, are there groups that you're aligning with as well? And one of the reasons why I just mentioned that is I was on the founding board of Conscious Capitalism Arizona. We were the 3rd chapter to form in the world. There's over 50 some chapters now. And the whole focus of conscious capitalism, conscious capitalism is elevating humanity through business. And when you shared that piece on sustainable living, this is conscious capitalism. So I'm just wondering if there's maybe an opportunity to partner up and synergize, because I know we've been, kind of not going into too much detail, but just as we're trying to grow our network, this could be a great opportunity to help our like-minded entrepreneurs align with other companies. And so again, that gives you a little bit more broad scope. I'm big on, topping one domino down, that 12 other things follow. So that was just something that popped in. So I wanted to at least introduce that to you or talk. And again, I'm happy to have more conversations about it. I know that you're not going to necessarily have a complete answer here, but I wanted to offer that up as a question and also as a thought or a suggestion.
Yes. I mean, the answer is yes. I'm familiar with the concept and just the direction of conscious capitalism. The answer is yes. Either, work through Allison, who will, bring me in, or, you can always shoot me a message as well, but definitely open. The challenge, and just for a little bit of insight for you all, Founders Live is such a unique thing. And it's like, it's not a square cube structure that you can always depend on it being the same exact shape. And so it's crazy. It's like my life's challenge is to make sense of all this. And so when you have this big thing, the question is like, how would we work with them? Well, I don't know. And all we need to do is talk with them and figure out, okay, how do we plug them in and where? And maybe it's partnering with certain countries and cities and events. Maybe it's actually plugging them into much more of a global partner. So when you look at like AWS, Google, they're like global partners, and we offer anyone that participates in our pitch events, there's things that they receive from those partners. And so they're much more global. So maybe that's it, right? But I don't know. And so we would love to chat with them and figure out what it looks like.
That's good. I'll reach out. Allison.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? I think I know that was a lot, but I think that it was a nice way to present, again, it's like, there's just a lot here. And what we are trying to do internally is to make more sense of everything that we're providing, and then being able to shorten it into more brief statements for you all to understand. And it's like not as easy as you think.